This is Mark Anthony with Mercury Time Price Analytics, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about our new bond trading algo and our crude oil algo. Now, when you're building any type of automated system, any type of algorithm, there's a couple things you have to get right. First of all, you have to have a system that provides optimal entry for both long and short positions. But markets are whippy. Sometimes they trend, but more often than not, they move back and forth, and sometimes what seems like random movement. And so what our system does is it builds in what we call profit capture pivots. So when you're in a position, long or short, you have benchmarks, algorithms, which are represented by these horizontal lines that we call profit capture pivots. Now, we never put manually drawn support and resistance levels on our charts. Everything is an algorithm. And so what you see here with our bond algo is you see our proprietary entry system, and you also see the horizontal profit capture pivots. And then you also see our single daily bull bear pivot. So you've got three elements here. You've got the algorithm itself, you've got our single daily bull bear pivot that's released around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, a little bit earlier depending upon how quickly we can generate it in the morning. But the point is you have that single bull bear pivot all day. And then we have what we call our X5 pivots, and these are profit capture pivots. And so price will revolve around the single daily bull bear pivot throughout the day. You can see today it defined the high. This is being recorded on Friday, January 17th, 2020. Now, what's amazing is how efficient our algo is at finding the profit capture pivots. And I want to pull the chart back to show you where it pulls these from. Now, it's kind of hard to see where the support and resistance is coming in here. So I want to show you a couple screenshots. And we'll start with a very wide view. Here's a wide view of bonds. And you can see these orange pivots. And you can see that they're going to pull those mathematical pivots from one of three things: either support, resistance, or they're going to cut right through price congestion zones. So here you can see an area that was support, it broke, became resistance, and then it was resistance until it broke through. And now that level becomes a support level again. But you can see with all of these, they either define support resistance, or they cut right through these congestion zones. And again, every one of these is a mathematical algorithm. So how do you use these? Well, let's zoom in one screen at a time. There's a wide view. And there's zoomed in just a little bit. And you can see again the support and resistance areas. Now let's take it one more. Now, can you see where it's pulling these levels from? Support, resistance, or congestion. And here's a maximum zoom showing you today's price action. So what our subscribers get is not only these pivots in the morning pre-RTH, but you have a live chart where you can see the algorithm and the pivots in real time. So if you're trading this today, you can see that our single daily bull bear pivot for bonds defined the high of the day. Now the algo is short from up in here, 158.13. And so you come into the day short, but you don't want the instrument that you're trading to reverse and take your profit away. So here we have our X2 pivot. So being short coming into the day, this short position was from yesterday. Yesterday, right around the Globex Open, as a matter of fact. And so coming into today, you could have taken profits at the X2 pivot, an additional profit at the X1 pivot. And what you'll see with these pivots time and time again, day after day, is they will literally define virtually to the tick highs and lows throughout the day. Now, at this point, if you're trading in thirds, for example, you could take a first third of the profit here. You can take your middle here, and then just let the runner run. Now, towards the end of the day, around 3:12 Eastern time, today the algo flipped long. And what I found was interesting is that both our bond and our crude algo flipped long at the exact same time today at 3:12. Maybe something, maybe nothing, but just wanted to state it for the tape that both of those went long into the close today. So now let's take a look at crude oil. And maybe on the third try we can, fourth try, there we go. We'll actually type in the crude oil continuous futures. So here we are today. And just as we saw a moment ago on the bond chart, the daily algo bull bear pivot is the fulcrum price point of the day. Now, if you traded crude for any period of time, you know that it whips up and down, in and out. It's the most difficult instrument to program for an algorithm. And that's why I think you'll find if you've tried any other types of automated systems to trade crude, they whip you in and out. They're long, and they may have a little bit of paper profit, and before you know it, it whips and it's gone, and then it's short, and then it whips back up and the profit's gone. And that is precisely what our profit capture pivots are for. So let me give you a couple of wider examples, because when you pull these charts out and you can see the context for exactly where the algo is deriving these pivots, it's really fascinating. So here you've got a very wide view, and you can see where the X1 pivot's coming from, where the X2 pivot is pulling from, the X3 pivot, and the X4 and X5 pivots were right here at the same spot. Now, anytime we have multiple mathematical pivots coming in at the same price, here you have the X4 pivot at 58.17, you've got the X5 pivot at 58.16, a penny difference. Well, you can see that that was where this turned yesterday. It came down and tested it today, and the system, which was short from up here around $62, $63, it's now getting long again after you've had multiple times down into this area, and it's getting long into the end of the day. So that's a wide view. You can see where the algo is pulling these pivots from. So let's zoom in one at a time. And once more, so you can see where this is pulling this from, and you can see here where the X4 and the X5 pivots are pulling from. So again, the pivots will either define support or resistance, or they will bisect right through key congestion zones. And if we look at the max zoom today, this is exactly where the X3 pivot was, which is where you would have taken the last bit of profit on the short that was $62, $63. Take that last bit of profit, and into the end of the day, you get this, and you can see where the system triggered long right at the end of the day. Now, there's one other thing I want you to notice, is that at what price point did the system transition from short to long? It transitioned right here, which not coincidentally is the bull bear pivot that was put out this morning. When you build algorithms properly, meaning you build them on time predominantly, I mean, you have to have a price component in anything, but algorithms that are based with too heavy a weighting on price simply whip you in and out, in and out. Our algorithms are based predominantly on time. So if you're watching this video, there's a high likelihood that at some point you've studied the work of W.D. Gann. Time is more important than price. If you've ever studied cycles, it's a high likelihood you've studied the cycle work of Charles Angus Hurst. What our system does better than any system that I've ever seen, and look, nobody has seen every system out there, but I believe the algorithm that we have is the optimal combination of the time price concepts that the W.D. Gann has made famous, as well as the just pinpoint cyclical work that Charles Angus Hurst did. We put these all together in one package, and there's some other elements in here that are extremely important. And for our subscribers, we package the bonds and the crude in one subscription, and you get both. And the way this works is you have a live chart feed that has two panels. It has one for bonds and one for crude, so you can see the live chart all throughout the day. Now, we generate these pivots before around 8 o'clock in the morning, before the heavier volume parts of the day kick in. So you've got these pivots ahead of time. We publish the actual pivot levels on our Slack channel for members, and then most importantly, as soon as those pivots are generated, they're placed on the chart as an overlay. That's what these horizontal lines are. So when you're looking at the live chart throughout the day, you have all this right on your screen. You don't need to take the pivot levels that we generate and then manually put them on your charting program. You can certainly do that, but they're already on the chart throughout the day so that you can see the algo triggering long or short. But most importantly, you have predefined levels where you can take profits, just like our traders did in bonds and in crude. And let me just close with this. Anyone who's ever traded at some point in their trading career, usually early on, you get enamored or obsessed with trying to top tick and bottom tick markets. And as I tell our traders, you know, when you get your monthly brokerage statement, they don't give you a cookie or a participation award or a trophy because you top ticked an instrument or bottom ticked it. Well, you don't have to worry about trying to do that because these mathematical algorithms are so precise that they literally do this day after day after day. So if you'd like to take a closer look, you can go to our website, mercurysignals.com. Just click on the Bonds Crude tab and you'll see more information. If you'd like to start a trial subscription, we give you a 7-day free trial. We bill weekly. There is no billing until after the trial. We don't pre-bill anything. The reason we bill weekly is because we want to give our subscribers the freedom that they can stop anytime they want. We don't bill a month in advance, so if you change your mind a month into a billing cycle, we don't do that. 7-day free trial, we bill weekly. We do that to give you the flexibility to leave if you're ever not happy with our work, but also because we know that once you start, you won't want to quit. Also, we give all our subscribers a lifetime rate lock, so whatever the subscription rate is, and it's heavily discounted right now, but whatever the subscription rate is, when you first subscribe, it will never change for that particular subscription. So if you trade bonds alone, or if you trade crude alone, or if you happen to trade both, it's all packaged in one subscription. You can find out more at www.mercurysignals.com. If you'd like to send me an email, you can send it to markanthony@mercurysignals.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video tonight. God bless you. God bless your family. And we hope to see you again soon.